Good morning, everybody. How are you today? Today is Sunday, February the 9th, and today, as promised, we're going to be working on planting some seeds. Today we're going to be working on onion seeds specifically. Let's see, we've got red onions and we've got 2 different storage onions to do today. And like I was saying the other day, I think I mentioned that we're going to be using the soil block method for planting our onion seeds. And to do that, we're going to be using this device. This is called a soil block maker. It's basically 4 little molds that you push the contraption down into the moist potting soil, and you put it into your seed starting tray and push the plunger, and you have 4 little blocks that you can put your seeds in. So that's what we're going to be working on today. We've got four different seeds to plant today. We've got, you probably can't read it, but this is a red onions, which we like for eating raw in salads and maybe even tuna fish salad. We'd like to use that for that. And then over here we have a storage onion called New York Early. In this little container here, I've got some seed these are storage onions. They're a French variety that are very hard to find in the United States, called Rosa de Milan. No, these are Rosé de Roscoff. These we've been saving now for years, year after year. In fact, this seed I have in the garden right now under the snow and ice. I've got 20 of these things planted just for seed production. We'll be talking about that in May. And then in this container, I have an onion that is not a storage onion. It's called Ailsa Craig. It is an heirloom from Scotland, and we saved all of these seeds. We had quite a crop of them, so we're going to be planting those. These are not storage, but they are a very good tasting onion. And the other thing about all of our onion varieties is that they are all open pollinated, so that we can save the seeds, and we do, from all those varieties. So I have collected here my various tools. One of them is missing. I'll have to go out and look for. But so I've got this pot here that I'll be putting the potting soil in. I've got the soil block maker, and probably the most important tool of all is my coffee. So we'll get started now. So we have everything ready to go here. I've got a tray for my seedlings all set up, and I've got about an inch, maybe 3/4 of an inch of soil in the bottom of it, and I'll show you why in a second. Over here I have a big tray of soil, which is what I'm going to make the soil blocks out of, and a handy little spatula that you can find at any thrift store. You'll see how that works in a second. Over here I have a small pail of water that I park the soil block maker in, because I like to dunk it in water between every batch of soil blocks. And then over here I have a half a pail of water just to pour into my potting soil mixture. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and make my soil block soil mixture. I start off by putting water, maybe a quart of water, in the one end. And then I'll take my handy little tool here, and I'm just going to mix it together and create a wet mixture, about like as if you're going to make brownies. I'll make it a mixture like that. So I'll just mix these together like this. And if it seems a little bit wet, just bring more dry soil in and slowly mix it together. Alright, let's try to make some soil blocks now. I'm going to take my soil block maker, which I've been having in the water to get it nice and wet, which helps the soil blocks to come out of the maker more easily. So what I'm just going to do is plunge it into the wet soil like that. Make sure that all of those cavities are filled. And then I'm going to take my handy little spatula tool that we got at the thrift store, and I like to put it underneath to help. Some of these soil blocks will want to come out. Because sometimes it takes a little bit to get the right density of water. Make sure that there's plenty of soil, that all of these little compartments are all filled up with soil, like that. Then I'm going to take it over here to the tray, our tray that's going to be for seedlings. Take it over and set it in. I'm going to put this first one in the corner there. And I'm just going to depress the handle and remove the soil blocks. And there they are. Those are 4 soil blocks ready to be planted. So we're going to make up another batch now. I like to put the soil block maker back in the water. And then bring it back and make another batch. I like to just go ahead and squeeze as much soil in there, make it nice and tight, well packed. Then I take my spatula, put it underneath like that, and there they are. They're all ready to go. I'll put those right next to the first batch. Right there. Press them out. You're asking yourself, why would I do this when I can just put seeds in a tray of soil? And the reason why is because come May, when it comes time to plant the onions, I'm going to be able to take these little blocks of soil and plant them into the garden. And each one of these will have about 4 or 5 seeds. Now you'll see that in May also. So let me go ahead and get to work and make some more of these soil blocks. Time to put the seeds in, and I recommend using something like this. It's a little plastic seeder that I think we got from Johnny's seed. And I mean, you can just use the envelope and make a little funnel, but we just happen to use this a lot. Works really well for us. Now, the seeds I'm going to do first are called Rosé de Roscoff, which are the French heirlooms that I've mentioned earlier. We saved these seeds. We actually got the first batch of seeds that we got actually came from onions that we saved. There's not many seeds left in here, so I'm going to plant all of them. I'm going to do what they call planting them out. So they're in the seeder, and then I just pick an opening that I think will work, like that. Put the lid back on, and then I'm going to just go along and shake out. You probably can't see it in the camera, but this is what you do. You just try. I try for 4 per soil block. Lots of times 1 or 2 more will spill out, which is fine. You get out into the garden in May and we split them up, divide them up. So I don't know how many seeds I have here, but I want to put an equal amount in each soil block because this is all we have left. I do have 20 more of these onions in the garden, growing right now. Well, not really growing, they're dormant because they're underneath the snow. But come May, when all the snow is gone, I'll show them to you then and give you a more in-depth explanation on seed saving for onions. All right, there's one pass. I'll do another one. And so this is what I do. I'll come along. I'll go ahead and put these seeds in. You don't have to hang on for that. Okay, that takes care of that. They're done now. So now the next step is to just cover them over very lightly. I can use my fingertip, or I've got another tool around here that I often use. I can't find it at the moment. Just to cover them up lightly. You can even come in with some more soil if you want to, but I just do this. I'll cover up all of these little soil blocks. If you notice that the blocks have little indentations, which is perfect for putting your seed in. I have a tool, I have a couple of tools, but I like to use this tool, and I like to redefine the little separations between the soil blocks. This will make it a lot easier come May when we go to put these in the garden. Makes it easier to remove the soil blocks from each other. I'll just go like that. And that's that. Oh, the last thing I do is you always want to label, especially if you have a tray that has mixed varieties in it. You want to put a little plastic. I like to use plastic because they'll last more than 1 year. We also have wooden ones, but they usually rot by the end of the first year. So I'm just going to tuck this between two of the soil blocks, and that'll be that. This batch of soil blocks are all set to go under the lights now. So we have these trays up here already planted. This is the tray we just did. And then I've got these 2 trays of lettuce, which are just about ready to be eaten. Actually, the one is on the left-hand side, and then the one on the right is a week or 2 behind it. And this tray over here has leeks in it that we did the other day. I'll continue making soil blocks and planting onions for the rest of the day. So thanks for tuning in and take care. Bye. What are you making, Danielle?
I'm making some garden huckleberry filled hand pies.
Oh, they look like they're going to be great. Is this over here the filling?
Yeah, we grew the huckleberries, garden huckleberries, last summer. Takes a long time. They're slow. You have to be very patient until they're black enough and soft enough. Then you pick them, and then I did the preparation and can.